What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade basketball analysis coming to y'all with that rookie analysis. We're going to talk today about Moses Moody, a lottery pick guaranteed in this draft. And he's another guy that is a role player, caliber guy, and will take years if he wants to exceed that. I will say people going to like him for his ability to play within the system. He's not a guy that takes a lot of wild shots or tries to do too much. He just let the game come to him, and he approaches the game the right way. If there's a shot that's available, he takes it. If not, continue to move, continue to find holes in the defense, and take a efficient shot. He's not doing anything crazy. He's not really doing anything mind blowing. But at the same time, you need guys like him on your team if you're a playoff team. Role players do matter. Rotation players do matter. We're seeing that in the finals. We're seeing Pat Connaughton, Bryn Forbes, and all these guys have good games just being supporting players, just knowing what they are, knowing what they are good at, and just doing that. And those guys are important because having a guy that you know that you can deliver that ball to and he can whack it is essential to being successful in the NBA. I don't look at Moody as one of those all-star caliber guys. He doesn't have the burst. He doesn't have the handle. He doesn't have the mid-range game. He doesn't have the ability to finish at an elite level or enough skill to get the angles or even to get off clean looks at the basket. If you're struggling to do it in high school and college, it's going to be tougher to do it in the NBA because you're going against stronger, more athletic guys, and you still have to adapt to it. You still have to get used to it. You still have to train for it. And there's nothing like that besides playing in the actual game when it actually matters and count. So to me, Moses is in that range with a lot of the other guys like Scotty Barnes, where you see where he can fit, you see what he can do, and with the right personnel around him, you can camouflage him, and he can be effective in Pacific roles, and that could be important. You need guys with size, you need guys with shooting. We see that's a premium into the NBA, but he's really going to have to, will round his game out a little bit more to be more of a threat because guys know Moses Moody want to shoot a three. So they're just going to stay at home because he's not going to really do anything else. Sometimes he plays in the dunker spot. That will only work to me if you got a good handler at point guard or you got shooting around him. Then he can get and play multiple positions. But at the same time, his shooting still will have to be there because you still want him to be able to space the floor if you go small. And he can be essential in those type of lineups. We see a lot of guys being successful in small ball lineups, and he can be a guy that can do that. But when I look at Moses Moody, I see a guy that really understands the game at the college level and really just took advantage of the system and really just took advantage of his shot selection. He just took the right shots, made the right plays, and that's basically what you do at the college level. You don't have a go-to scorer, you don't have a bucket. You have to play together and try to get the best shot available. And I feel like that works in the NBA, but it's also easier in the NBA because you have multiple guys that can score even on bad teams, making him easier to fit in and easier to transition if his 3-point shot is legitimate because he didn't shoot crazy from three in college, and we all know the 3-point line is further in the NBA, and that's going to be something he's going to have to prove throughout his NBA career if he wants to stay in the league for 10 plus years. Because if he never becomes a guy that can get you a bucket off the dribble or can never really become a reliable guy that can put the ball on the floor and make a play outside of passing, then he is going to be a rotation player slash role player at best. I don't really see the Chris Middleton comparison just because Chris Middleton has been able to master degree of difficulty. He can really make shots quick because of his length, because of his size, and because of his release. I don't see Moody being that guy. Even when he did it in college, He scored over smaller guys. Chris Middleton can get a screen and just pull up, and it's cash. He can dribble a little bit, get a screen off the dribble, and pull up for a mid range. He has to be able to do that, and he hasn't done it to me enough at the college or high school level to where I can really believe that he can be that. But at the same time, will a team want him to be that? And people don't get it that a lot of the time the coaches and the team need you for specific things, and that kind of classify you as a player. And Moses Moody is already coming into the league as a guy that's a 3-and-D guy. And if that's all the coach wants you to be and that's all the coach see you as, then that most likely will be how other coaches and team utilize you throughout your career. And if you can never break it or shake it or really show that you can do more, which you will have to be given that role within that team and within that coach, then Moses Moody may be a sixth, seventh, eighth guy on a good team and a high quality starter with guys that can handle the ball and make plays, and he can just be the beneficiary of those guys. Even if they get a post guy, he can be a guy that cuts. He can be a guy that can shoot the three, and he can be a guy that can get out and transition and just do the right move or the right play, and coaches will love him and they'll continue to ride for him. But it is guys like that that matter. You do need these type of guys. And, you know, the hardest part about a lot of this in the draft is this is basically what you're getting from anybody that you select from 7 to out. You're not really getting too many guys with superstar upside from what they have shown so far in overseas, high school, college, or G League. Once you get out of that top 3, top 5, most of these guys are just plug and play guys. Plug them right in and allow them to play their game, allow them to master skills, and then if anything else become of those guys, you will take it. But a lot of these guys just haven't shown enough, or they just wasn't in the teams that needed them to do more, and that could happen again because the NBA is you're always replaceable, and this is what I always try to tell you guys about role players. They look at you as a person they can replace. We can sign this type of guy. We can trade for this type of guy. We can give up a first or a second round pick for these type of guys. And that's the Scotty Barnes. That's the Moses Moody. That's a lot of these players from 7 and beyond. That these guys don't scream amazing. These guys don't scream crazy. These guys don't scream box office. But these guys are the ones that you need to do the dirty work, the ones that you need to execute plays, and the ones that you need to finish plays that's broken. And I feel like Moses Moody can be one of those guys. And if you get him, maybe 2 to 3 years from now, he become a great 40% three-point shooter and a guy that can stop and pop and a guy that can just make the right play in the right system with the right players. And then you got you a $15 million guy that's perfect for what you need, but also has potential on that contract to continue to grow, just like Chris Middleton did, and probably become an all-star ceiling or a star in his role like a TJ Warren. But even then, those guys took multiple tries, multiple years to even get to that point, and they never really went past that. But they are integral to a team, and they are important to teams. And teams do need guys with length, with size, and shooting ability, and guys that understand what they need to do when they're out there on the court. And I do feel like Moses Moody is another one of those guys that can be able to do that. But he is going to have to prove that he can do these things at the NBA level. I don't see him doing it as a rookie, but I can definitely see him doing it 2 to 3 years from now. And that's a long time off. But at the same time, these are skills you need to be elite at if you want to be a quality starter in the league. If not, they're just going to find somebody else in the next draft or the next free agency to replace you or be in front of you, and then you're just a rotation player that they rely on but really don't care about keeping around because you will be able to be replaced by somebody else that's cheaper or somebody else that do it better than you. And a lot of these guys might fall victim to that in this draft. But that's just how the game goes. Let me know what you guys like about Moses Moody. Can he become a 20-point scorer in the NBA? Can he become a 40+% 3-point shooter? Will he just be an average 3-point shooter, which teams still use? Can he be a 3-and-D guy? Can he get to that all-star caliber level within years of being in the NBA? And also, do you like him? This is another guy that a lot of teams are liking. A lot of teams can feel comfortable picking because he is a safe bet to a lot of teams because of what he has shown so far in his career. But at the same time, we have to see how his career plays out. And that's going to be fun to see where he gets drafted to and see how he develops and grows as a man and as a player. And to me, that's what it's all about too, because that's a part of the journey. And you can't forget that. So he got this far to get drafted. He got this far to be a lottery pick. And the rest we have to see, as fans. Other than that, Quinn Wade be back tomorrow with playoff reactions. Quindy Dub 20. I'm gone.